Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1371. How leaders can get more done through others. How micromanagement can kill productivity and creativity. Part 1, by Laura Stack of theproductivitypro.com. And I'm your narrator. My name is Dan, and I am here with you every single day. Hope your Tuesday's going well if you're listening in real time. And I do have a little bit of a longer post for you today, so I'm going to break it into two. I'll read the first half right now, and then wrap it up for you in the Wednesday show. So let's get right to part 1 now as we start optimizing your life. How leaders can get more done through others. How micromanagement can kill productivity and creativity. Part 1, by Laura Stack of theproductivitypro.com. If you want to destroy worker initiative, blast a hole in productivity, and scribble the bottom line with red ink, there's no better way to do it than by micromanaging your employees. Keeping workers on tight leashes and constantly interrupting them ruins their ability to find thoughtful, profitable ways to do their jobs. And it wastes your valuable time as well. True organizational productivity requires engaged, informed personnel, willing and eager to work toward the organization's mission and vision. And it all starts with a simple concept that's amazingly hard for some people to implement. Trust. Learn to trust. This can be a tough sell, especially if you've built your organization from the ground up. It's your baby. You know all its quirks, and it can be hard to trust even small parts of it to other people, since you can't be absolutely certain that they won't let it come to harm somehow. But consider this. If you're so distrustful of your employees, then why did you hire them in the first place? Trust is the diametric opposite of micromanaging, which is based on a lack of trust that others can do their jobs. Your trust for the people who work for you should underlie every decision you make as a manager. Instead of automatically distrusting them, it's to your advantage to assume that they can do the jobs they've been hired to do, assuming the proper training and opportunity. Now, this may require some serious reworking of your default attitude, but make it your ultimate goal to be able to stand back and give them the benefit of the doubt, as long as they have the experience and can prove their competence. If they can't, that's when you can justifiably ride them and, as necessary, replace them. You do need to keep an eye on everyone, but only as part of the big picture. Otherwise, give people the freedom and flexibility to get their jobs done. Meanwhile, you can be doing all those high-value things that you get paid the big bucks for, instead of trying to do everyone else's work. Delegate that task. Micromanagers tend to live by that old adage, if you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself. But the savvy leader quickly learns that you can't get it all done right by trying to do everything single-handedly. If you allow yourself to become a slave of your team's day-to-day operations, your own productivity will flag along with everyone else's. As a manager, your core responsibilities should be things like marketing, growing the business, overseeing, but not minutely controlling, other people's efforts, dealing with your superiors, and in general, doing whatever brings in the most profits for the organization. Your sights should always be set higher than the mundane, which means that you must delegate or outsource anything that fails to meet your high profit standards. It just doesn't make economic sense to run around taking care of little things or handling crises that should be assigned to lower paid employees. If you get paid $50 an hour, you should never do anything that earns the company less than that. Even if you have to take steps to fix something a subordinate is doing wrong, whether that involves training or replacing them, in most cases it's still cheaper than doing the job yourself. Besides, if you waste time on other people's jobs, you'll have to work extra hard to get your job done. Oh, no doubt you're willing to put in the extra time, and that's laudable. But eventually you're going to wear yourself out and start slipping, decreasing your own productivity and making yourself less valuable to the company. When it comes down to the bottom line, you simply have to push every responsibility you can down to the lowest possible level. Focus on your critical few tasks, handing off everything you realistically can to other people. Again, this comes down to rejecting the temptation of micromanaging and setting your default attitude to trust. In this case, let me amend that to trust but verify. Just because you can hand a task to someone else doesn't mean that you can forget all about it. That's abdication, and it's something you can't afford, because even when you delegate a task, you are still responsible for it. You still have to make sure that it's getting done consistently and on a timely basis. So occasionally you'll have to check in with your delegate to learn the score, and as necessary, make adjustments. Just don't hang over them like a sword of Damocles. Keep an eye on the big picture. By definition, a manager's role is to provide direction for his or her subordinates, which means that you do have to get into the nitty-gritty of problem solving sometimes. This is fine to a limited extent, but again, don't try to do it all, even when you can. One of the biggest downsides of micromanaging, above and beyond the issues of trust and overwork, is that it requires you to focus too tightly on the details of organizational function. To paraphrase the old saying, you see the trees, but not the forest. And it's your job to keep an eye on the forest as a whole, not just this oak or that sycamore. A laser-sharp focus is ideal when you're trying to get your own tasks done. It's not so great when you're putting someone else's tasks under the microscope, while forgetting that they're a small part of something much bigger that needs to be taken care of in its entirety. Close oversight must be the exception, never the rule. Otherwise, you are, again, hamstringing your productivity, making yourself less useful all the way around. There's another old saying for this kind of thing: penny wise and pound foolish. When you get right down to it, focusing too tightly on the little pictures while ignoring the big one is like throwing away money. To be continued. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, How Leaders Can Get More Done Through Others, How Micromanagement Can Kill Productivity and Creativity, by Laura Stack of theproductivitypro.com. When it comes to hiring, don't go searching for the one. Just meet your match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it filters out incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster, and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/startup. So just go to Indeed.com/startup right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
And thanks so much to Laura, who is an award-winning keynote speaker and the best-selling author of 8 books. Her engaging personality, combined with over 25 years of experience helping organizations achieve results, have made her one of the most sought-after experts and keynote speakers in her field. Laura has been featured in the New York Times, USA Today, The Wall Street Journal, Entrepreneur, and Forbes magazine, and has been a spokesperson for Microsoft, Danone, 3M, Office Depot, Xerox, and more. And if that wasn't enough, her client list includes top Fortune 500 companies, including Starbucks, Walmart, Bank of America, GM, Wells Fargo, and Time Warner, plus government agencies including the U.S. Air Force Academy, the Census Bureau, the Senate, and the IRS. So you can learn a lot from her simply by visiting theproductivitypro.com. She's got all her videos, books, store, newsletter, and blog all on that one site. Again, that's theproductivitypro.com. But that does it for today here on Optimal Work Daily. Hope you are having a great day out there, and thanks so much for being here with me for part of it. And I'll see you tomorrow, where we're going to finish up this post from Laura and where your optimal life awaits.